University Challenge has been baffling students and delighting audiences for the past 52 years.
Hello and welcome again.
Over 43 series, more than 1,000 teams have gone head-to-head in a bid to be crowned the brightest scholars in Britain.
Trinity, you're the champion.
For the first time in the programme's history, we've followed the journey of the students from initial team selection
and the captain of our team is James Gearbrandt.
To the moment they walk onto the iconic studio floor.
Fingers on the buzzers.
Here's the first starter for 10.
Each year, only 28 teams qualify to compete in the televised series, and tonight we'll be finding out which institutions have what it takes to make the grade.
It's sort of the calm before the storm, I guess. Obviously, there's quite a lot of nerves there.
And become the University Challenge class of 2014.
Here we go.
Oh my God. Guys.
Last time, we followed over 130 teams on their mission to secure a coveted place in this year's series of University Challenge. They formed their strongest squad,
Jeremy!
honed their quizzing skills, and endured a tough audition hoping to impress the producers to bag one of those 28 places in the class of 2014.
Hands down, if you will.
Tonight, we'll find out which teams have succeeded and who will have to wait for another year.
Oh my goodness.
My party time!
We'll lift the lid on how teams train to become match fit,
Sheep? I don't know. Don't look at me like I'm supposed to know.
reveal the face that goes with the voice of University Challenge,
I don't think people realise that the voiceovers are actually done live in the studio. I think they probably reckon it's edited in afterwards.
Trinity Tornoshek Zorko.
and we uncover the man behind the myth that is Mr. Jeremy Paxman.
Oh my God, there he is, there he is.
Got any answers? Do you know I have? But I'm not going to give them to you now.
I hadn't realised just how low and smoky Paxo's voice is. I was very impressed. It was so low and hot chocolatey.
After a 3-week audition tour, travelling to 8 cities and meeting over 130 teams, it's decision day for the University Challenge production team. They have the gruelling task of casting just 28 institutions to represent the nation's student population. The producers have a casting system that takes into account a number of criteria.
We've put all our applications into categories. We then concentrate on the teams that have scored best.
We give teams a grade, A, B, C, D, depending on how well they did in their score and also a combination of that with how they came across in their interview with us. So we have a rough threshold below which we pretty much automatically discount a fair number of teams, and we'll lose a good 60 or so teams because of that.
They've got a good score, but is it good enough? So we've got to lose one of these, haven't we?
With a score like that, it's just a bit too low for us to consider them, really.
No, that's a good score.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
There we go. This is our final 28, guys. This is Series 21. It's going to be a pretty damn good series.
And so the time has come. Students from over 130 institutions across the nation eagerly await the production team's decision. Have they made the grade and gained a coveted place on University Challenge? Only time will tell, and the nerves are starting to show.
It's recording. Don't say anything disparaging.
I'm feeling a bit nervous and apprehensive about things, but hopefully we'll do well.
It's sort of the calm before the storm, I guess. Obviously, there's quite a lot of nerves there.
Very, very nervous. Can't take the pressure.
Last year the interview seemed to go much better than this year and we didn't get through, so I'm quietly confident, but I don't know really how to gauge it.
Our chances of making it on are pretty high, I think.
My mum, though, is incredibly stressed and tense, so, yeah. I know she phones me up and Skypes me, like, every day saying, have you heard yet? Have you heard?
A lot of these students have wanted to be in the show for years and are just so excited to get on and represent the university on Uni Challenge. And it's an absolute privilege to work on a show that garners that reaction.
One of the teams awaiting their fate is Trinity College, Cambridge. Home to over 1,000 students, Trinity is the largest of the Cambridge colleges. They have been University Challenge Series winners on 3 occasions and are the current holders of the trophy.
Trinity, you're the champions. Well done.
So the pressure is on this year's team to defend their title. First up, third-year physicist Matthew Willits. Mathematician Michael Dunn-Gertchen. Their captain, chemistry student Hugh Bennett. Fourth-year classicist Claire Hall. And mathematics student Alid Walker. And so the team gather together to await the all-important phone call.
The nice thing is, on the test that we did, if any individual member of the team gets the answer right, it counts as the team getting it right. And there were quite a few times throughout where I thought, this is a really good system.
I'm not going to get this question, but someone else will. It'll be fine.
Anyone know any good jokes? Speaker works. Hello?
Hello, Hugh.
Hi, hello.
Hi, it's Olivia calling from University Challenge.
Hi.
All I want to start off by saying is we have seen around 130 teams whilst we were away on tour, and the calibre for this series was especially high. It was really above and beyond what we could have thought. And in this instance, guys, I just want to say...
X Factor pause.
Congratulations to all of you, because you've made it onto the show. Well done.
Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's great news.
Oh, I'm glad that you're pleased.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much.
It's been a pleasure, and we're really looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. OK. Bye.
All right. Bye, Hugh. Bye.
Bye.
First sort of 20 seconds were really emotionally manipulative. Like,
like,
you know, the quality of teams was very
really
high. You know,
and
we had a great time talking to you.
We were just like, no,
definitely, we're done now.
Well, we're thrilled about that, I think.
So Trinity have achieved their goal and are set to defend their title. What does all this good news actually mean for the students? What have they got to look forward to with their appearance on the show? Come on!
Sorry.
For many, this experience will be the start of lifelong friendships.
We didn't know each other beforehand. I don't think we'd have met if it weren't for University Challenge, but we got on fantastically well. We had a great time. And our families, quite a lot of our families came and watched us, families, friends and family, so our friends and family got to know each other too. And, you know, we're still in touch now, which is really nice.
It was fun. It was really fun, and I really did enjoy to represent my university. It's something I love.
You just become friends. You know, they're my friends now, and we go out to the pubs in the week and go and do a pub quiz every now and then, maybe. But yeah.
Now it's time for Sheffield, Sussex, London School of Economics and Political Science, the Courtauld Institute of Art, and Pembroke College, Cambridge, to learn their fate.
Hello there, is that James?
Hi, yeah.
Hi Jonathan, it's Claire here from University Challenge. We've been making our decisions over the last week or so.
So first of all, I want to start off by saying it was an absolute pleasure meeting you.
We've seen a huge number of teams and the standard's been really, really high this year. It was very, very difficult for us to get it down to just 28.
In this instance, I just want to say a massive congratulations because...
That was so mean.
I'm very pleased to be able to tell you that we would like to have Sussex on the show this series.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We would love to have you on the show this series.
Oh, wow, that's great news. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
We're on the show?
Yes.
No. Are you being serious?
Are you sure you've got that right, yeah?
I'm positive.
I'm sorry, I'm in shock.
I've watched the show from when I was about 5 or 6, and I've always wanted to participate.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
We're on.
You should have been cooler about it, like whatever.
I can't be cool.
Whatever. Always knew I'd be on.
That's exciting.
For third-year medical student Carl Lamb, it's been a long journey since he single-handedly put together the Churchill College Cambridge team. And now it's time to find out if all the hard work has paid off.
Shameful.
Pretty nervous, but won't be the end of the world if we don't make it.
Will be the end of the world if we don't make it. So we have to get through, basically.
Just get in the first round. Just get in the first round. Like, okay, I don't think we have aspirations to win.
Okay, phone call.
I'm just ringing with the outcome of the
Application process. As you know, we saw a huge number of teams this year. I think
we saw well over 130. Your
application was strong. We really enjoyed the interview with you, and you did score well on the test.
But unfortunately, the standard this year in Cambridge was just so high that you guys missed the cut, I'm afraid. I'm very sorry.
Okay, no problem at all.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. That's a tough phone call to make.
Oh well, better luck.
We tried our best, and then
Yeah.
fair enough. Like the competition was really high, so.
I don't think our expectations were too high, so yeah.
No, we haven't seen the last of Churchill, so back again next year, guys.
Yeah, sounds good.
So it's disappointing news for Churchill College, Cambridge, but at the other end of the country is the metaphorical sun shining on the University of Manchester. It's the largest single-site institution in the UK, and their previous teams are joint championship title holders with Magdalen College, Oxford, winning the series an incredible 4 times. This year's team consists of team captain John Radcliffe, studying chemical engineering, Charlie Rowlands, a first-year genetics and Chinese language student, Edmund Chapman, currently reading a PhD in literature, Vari Hindle, third-year chemistry student, and Matt Stallard, a PhD student reading American Studies. The team has been put together by an ex-contestant turned coach, Stephen Pearson, who has been prepping the Manchester University entries for the last 16 years.
It is Switzerland, yes, for 10 points.
Known fondly as the Alex Ferguson of University Challenge, Stephen's gathered a few of his previous squads as moral support as this year's team await their fate.
Okay, everyone, come on. We've got previous team members here, so hopefully they're sort of rooting for us and they want us to get on, and maybe somehow that will affect the outcome. But yeah.
But if we don't get on, they'll just find it really funny.
If
they're happy either way, really, I'm sure.
Yeah. Being Manchester, done pretty well on it in the past. I don't think that personally makes me feel any more confident. I think it makes me feel more nervous, you know, because we don't want to screw it up.
Just have to walk around campus like this.
There have been teams in the past which have been really good and haven't made it on, so I'm not counting my chickens until we know. I'm nervous. I didn't think I would be, but I am. Obviously, I hope they get on, but you never know.
Oh, hold on. Hello?
Hi, is that John?
It is, hi.
Hi, John, it's Claire here from University Challenge. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks, Claire. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
I'm very glad to be able to tell you that we would like to have Manchester through on the show this year.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Claire. That's good news. Hey.
Guys.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
They do take it very seriously at Manchester, and it does show through the teams. You know, every year they put through very, very strong teams, and these guys were no exception.
Yeah, but the thing is, now we actually have to do a TV show, don't we?
Oh, yeah. No, I've forgotten about that.
We don't just have to be on it, we actually have to be good as well.
We do.
That's the thing. So, you know, stuff. Yeah.
The moment you discover you've achieved a place on University Challenge is a time to celebrate for every team, and so it makes for some ear-piercing phone calls.
We hold the receiver away from our ears because there's generally a lot of screaming and shouting and cheering.
One of us is dancing.
Sorry, we didn't hear anything that you said after the good news.
Oh, God, you sounded so upset.
That was a pretty good reaction, wasn't it?
We need to practice buzzer stuff, though, don't we?
We do, like Glover, LSHT. Start of attack.
All institutions with university status are welcome to apply for the show. For the Open University, where their students work from home and are therefore spread across the entire UK, this task of putting together a team is particularly hard. Each individual application is fielded by Projects Officer for the Students' Association, Jessica Smith, who applies on their behalf.
We're really hoping this year could be our year because the Open University won University Challenge in 1999, but 15 years on, we still haven't had a team through to the televised round, so we're really hoping that this will be the year.
And she's also the one who receives the call to say whether or not they've made it onto the show.
Here we go. Hello, Jessica speaking.
We very much enjoyed the interview that we did with them, and we've decided that this
year we would like to put a team from the OU forward.
Has been very well received, I hear.
Everyone's listening in the office.
Lovely to speak to you, Jessica. Bye.
We knew this was our year. We had the feeling in our bones, didn't we?
It's quite a lot of organisation coordinating all those people from across the country. About 300 students put their names forward to start with, and get to these 5 and for them actually to be through to the show. I can't quite believe it, really.
Edinburgh University has made more appearances on the show than almost any other team, but have never bagged the championship title.
The motion of droplets of oil in an electric field.
Hoping that this will be their year are chemistry PhD student Thomas Suslak, team captain Alex Gapoud, a PhD student in social anthropology, third-year chemistry undergraduate Innes Carson, Joe Curran, reading for a PhD in economic and social history, and Nico Ovenden, reading a Master's in Cultural Studies. With each university, it's the captain who has told the news of the team's fate, and Edinburgh is no exception.
So we got an email from the producers saying that unfortunately we didn't make the show, which is disappointing, but you know, trying to take the positives from it. Part of my resolution, part of my determination is to, in a couple of years' time, come back and not just win it all, but actually instill a culture here at Edinburgh where we're the new Manchester, we're the new Magdalen College Oxford, and we're actually there to compete and to compete seriously as a very serious contender to win it all every year. That's something that I hope to leave behind here.
So it's bad news for Edinburgh, but they're determined to be back next year.
At the end of the day, we did what we could, and I don't think we embarrassed ourselves.
Certainly no regrets about going forward, and didn't work out this time, but maybe in the future it will. So.
I think sooner or later, the right team will come to just carry Edinburgh to the glory.
Back in the production office, the yeses are coming thick and fast.
Oh my god. Guys. I just wanted to say congratulations because you made it onto the show. Well done.
Excellent. Love that.
That's excellent news.
Congratulations, you're going to be on the next
series of the show.
Blimey.
Yes.
What? That's pretty cool. It is, yeah.
You've made 5 geeks very, very happy.
High five time.
Well done, guys. Oh my god, well done. Hello. Wow, that was a fail.
My heart.
One institution desperate to gain a place on this year's series are Magdalen College, Oxford. 4 times University Challenge champions with a lot to prove. This year's team, hoping to continue the college's illustrious history, are third-year chemist Chris Savoury, French and philosophy student Cameron Quinn, captain and chemistry student Hugh Binney, 4th-year classicist Harry Gillow, and Tom Mackenzie, reading a PhD in classical languages and literature. And knowing they have a lot to live up to, the team is starting to get nervous as they wait to hear the news.
I thought we did quite well at the interview, but then I thought we did quite well at the interview last year and we didn't get on, so...
I thought I did terribly on that test.
I think we're a strong team, and that should be all that counts, but there are, of course, extenuating circumstances. The fact that we're all sort of white, and middle class and male, bit boring.
Currently, I have 3 signals.
That should be fine.
No, 4 signals.
Oh,
4
wow.
signals out of 5.
Luxury.
So it should Gosh, I thought my signals were only out of... Oh no, now it's down to 3 signals out of 5. Hello? Hello?
As you know, we're getting to around that time where we start telling people whether they're on or not, and it's incredibly tight. But that just makes it all the gladder for me to say that you're on the team this year. On the next
We're going to be on?
Challenge. We're going to be on to you. Congratulations.
That's fantastic. That's excellent news. Thank you for telling us. We'll do our best to represent Magdalen well.
Yay!
I guess we better start practicing.
Yes. Wow.
Nerve-wracking.
So, the 28 teams have received the welcome call to say they've secured a place on the show. Now, the hard work really begins. And on University Challenge, that means preparing for the toughest quiz in Britain.
You probably can prepare an awful lot for the show by practicing.
We were all people who were sort of generally interested in doing quizzes. We'd done things like pub quizzes a little bit together. Oxford has an intercollegiate quiz tournament with, you know, some battered old buzzers that they send around. So we'd done a little bit of that sort of against teams from elsewhere in Oxford.
We went to the Union, had a quiz, I think every Sunday night, and I think we went along to that once or twice and didn't do that well.
This year, students are continuing the hard work of their predecessors, prepping for those killer questions. Up in Scotland, the University of St Andrews are holding one of their regular practices in the Common Room.
In terms of preparation for the show as a team, we've been practicing going through questions, trying to emulate the studio environment as closely as possible. OK, so 3 bonus questions on a human capacity. We've been trying to have one person ask the rest of us questions in a sort of Paxman-esque manner. But it's difficult. It really is difficult.
OK, start off at 10 on the buzzers, please. What is the lowest positive integer to contain the letter C when it is spelled out as a word in English? Good God. The history of St Andrews in the show is an interesting one. We won it once. 2 years ago was the last time a team got through to the televised rounds, and they were knocked out ignominiously by Bangor. So we want to do better than them this time round. What name for a bivalve mollusk of the genus Pecten, and for its distinctive shell, also denotes thin slices of meat or fish, often dusted with flour and sautéed? Scallop? Yeah, it's scallop.
We feel somewhat, St Andrews has kind of underperformed considering its academic standing, and I think it's our job this year to right that. I think if we won and we brought the trophy back to St Andrews for the first time in 31 years, I think they'd probably put on a procession for us. And I'm not actually lying when I say that.
I'd like to think so.
I think we would be wheeled through town on a float.
Over 400 miles south of St Andrews, the Oxford Brookes team are working to a strict training regime.
Well, we try and practice twice a week, so we do past questions.
I read Dickens in one night and Shakespeare in 1.5 nights. I'm just reading the summaries, which is helping me with the ones that I don't know as well.
We're trying to cram in as many sessions as we can over the next couple of weeks.
As a consequence of the belief that it was brought to Europe by the Crusaders, Syrah, the red wine grape of the Rhone Valley, shares its English name with which city in Iran?
Shiraz.
Yep. For so many years we've just been sitting at home watching it on the telly, where it's all very easy and you can just make as many guesses as you like and think you're a bit of a legend or whilst you're sitting in your own lounge.
Paxman doesn't scare you from across a TV, does he?
Now we know we're actually going to be there in front of the lights and the camera and having to do it for real. It's all a bit surreal.
Give the single word that completes this statement.
But what is it about University Challenge's questions that make them so incredibly hard and unique?
Riefler, von Sterneck, compensating, torsion, and Foucault are the right. Rees.
Angela?
Correct.
The questions have some specific characteristics. There's something that we on the production team call inherent interest. We like the question to be interesting in itself. So even if you don't know the answer, when you hear the answer, you think, that's interesting, not, so what?
For heaven's sake, there's enough quizzes on television full of stupid questions. The questions here are difficult, and they're intentionally difficult, and so the people who can answer them know a lot. I mean, that's the point of the show.
In March 2006, which newly formed party, led by Ehud Olmert, became...
Warwick Christodoulou.
Kadima.
Kadima is right.
My mum said to me when I came off it, you know, I was sort of saying, oh, I can't believe I didn't get this one right or that one right. And she said, Days, she said, I don't even understand the questions. She said, you know, don't beat yourself up about not knowing the answer.
No matter how hard the teams may study, their answers don't always come from textbooks.
10 points for this. The elements with the atomic numbers 79, 47 and 82 are used to determine the suitability of a young woman's suitors in which play by...
Corpus Christi Trimble.
Merchant of Venice.
Indeed, they're the gold, silver and lead caskets.
The things you know are not just exactly sort of things you've read or things you've studied, but things you've come across on holiday with friends, with family, and so you do sort of see your life flashing before your eyes.
When we went up to Manchester on the train from Cambridge, we'd been travelling a couple of hours, and somebody looked out the window and said, look at that bent church spire, and somebody else said, that must be Chesterfield, it's got a bent church spire. And somebody else said, isn't that a kind of sofa? And, oh, yes. And lo and behold, the first match we were in, the starter, was about the connection between a particular kind of sofa and a church with a bent spire. So the answer was Chesterfield, and one of us buzzed in and got it. So now and then, life intervenes and gives you an answer, but mostly it's things that you know already.
Over at the Board Game Cafe, St Anne's College are testing the grey matter with a lively quiz.
So tonight we're doing a quiz, and the goal is largely to identify both the strengths and weaknesses of the different people on the team, and also to see what areas we can revise and improve on for the future.
The first European to explore the area was Joan Rodriguez Cabrillo.
St Anne's has about 750 students in its population, graduate and undergraduate, and we're going up against universities like Manchester who have 40,000 students to draw from. It's a bit intimidating.
I think expectations are quite low. Our getting on is seen as a great achievement in itself, so anything we can do and go further is a bonus. Working drawings were completed by Shreve, Lamb and Harman Architects in just 2 weeks.
The Empire State's Building.
Yes.
Yes!
I mean, so far I've just dreamt of being on University Challenge. I wasn't aiming too high, so I'm happy just to be on it. Winning would be, yeah, beyond anything I've ever even thought about.
With less than 2 weeks until studio, the University of Sheffield team have a more laid-back approach to practice.
What I've been told is Gail Trimble had toast every morning on her way to University Challenge, so if that works for her, it works for me. That's all I can say. No, Alfie.
It's our first meeting as a team since the interviews, and we've got a book. We're going to answer some practice questions. I think probably terrify ourselves. Give the common names of the following plants and animals, each of which is a homophone. Each of which is a homophone of a name of the name of a letter of. These are really difficult to say.
So how are Sheffield feeling about their chances?
Coming up against the likes of Oxford, Cambridge, the sort of traditionally very highly regarded universities, is perhaps a little daunting, but I'd like to think that Sheffield have something that we can throw at everyone and that we've got a real good chance.
We've got nothing to lose. Like, if we lose to them, then that's what people expected. But if we win, then, you know, it looks really good.
Which farm animal was once known in Ireland as the gentleman who pays the rent?
Sheep?
Oh, no.
I don't know. Don't look at me like I'm supposed to know. You didn't know the answer.
Pig?
Which traditional British confectionery item is named after Parma, although its connection with the city is remote?
Nominate Greenwood.
Parma Violet.
Correct.
Oh, yeah! We're going to win!
Although I know at least for the last couple of years, hadn't qualified for the show at all, so we've done better than that. Improving already.
What we really got to think about is what we're going to do if we get the question right.
Do a Mexican wave across the team.
Yeah.
How many sides does a triangle have?
Sheffield, Cunliffe. 3.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The Sheffield team might be concentrating on their celebrations, but for all the teams taking part, it's not just about answering the questions correctly. It's also about technique on the buzzer.
Warwick Christodoulou.
Poetry?
Poetry's correct.
I think when you watch it on telly, you don't fully appreciate the importance of the buzzers, the importance of the speed.
Rival purposes.
Warwick Christodoulou.
Zip. You could know the answer to every question and feasibly end up with no marks, end up with no points. Because if you don't get to the buzzer in time, you don't get the marks for that, and then crucially, you don't even get the opportunity to have a go on the bonuses.
The technique really is to press the buzzer when you know that you know the answer, or think that you know the answer, before you've actually reeled it back from the memory fully.
It's as though your mind starts saying, wait a second, I think I might know this. And you hear like a word or something until you buzz, and then you've got the time where Roger Tilling says Manchester Mitchell to suddenly go through your brain as fast as you can and find the answer.
It's a matter of not minding making a fool of yourself, which I have done on occasions.
Beyond credibility?
No, much simpler, bad character.
I'm not sure there's a knack, but there must be, I guess. I think it's something along the lines of knowing what point to buzz, yeah. And I don't have a formula, it was just kind of an instinct. Because your brain will tell you that, oh, you know the answer, seconds before it's found it.
I pressed the fire control and ahead of me rockets blazed through the sky. These words appear in which 1963 painting?
Manchester Gilbert.
Wham.
Wham is correct, yes.
And more often than not you will find it, but often you won't. And then you look at Charlie.
Manchester Gilbert.
Floating voter?
No, one of you buzzed from Magdalen.
So the secret to victory is timing and speed. But according to those who've achieved success on the show, it's not just speed on the buzzer, it's also about the way you press it.
The University Challenge buzzers are kind of large and flat, and they only buzz downwards.
Magdalen Chan.
Onan. There's a certain amount of give in the buzzer, and so you have to work out where that is, so that if you react a little bit quicker than the opposition, you're already halfway down on the buzzer, but it's not sounding, but you just have that slight advantage.
With just over 10 days until studio, there's plenty of buzzer practice still to do. And over at Magdalen College, Oxford, the team are taking it very seriously, as a loss now could prove catastrophic to team morale.
We're having our first intercollegiate quiz match tonight. We're playing Queen's College, and hopefully it'll go well. So the intercollegiate quiz is a tournament that's held between the various colleges within Oxford. We usually get a pretty good turnout, so this year we've got 32 teams playing. People use the intercollegiate quiz as a chance to practice for University Challenge. And it's pretty prestigious in its own right, but basically teams want to see this as an opportunity to get some practice in before they actually appear on the show. We have buzzers set up just like you would in University Challenge. It's basically exactly the same thing, but without Jeremy Paxman and without Roger Tilling.
At Manchester University, team coach Stephen Pearson is ensuring the team stick to their strict training regime.
We've got a practice match that Stephen's arranged. We'll be playing up against some of the previous famous faces from Manchester. We're playing against like previous champions, so they are good. And when you can beat them, you must know your stuff.
On my team tonight, we've got just our normal University Challenge team, so it's me, Cameron, Chris and Harry. Hopefully we'll be able to put in a good performance tonight and get ourselves feeling confident before we actually start recording in Salford. This is the first time we've played together as a full team, so it'll be good to see if our dynamic is sort of a positive one or a negative one. I'm sure it'll be fine, but just to make sure that everything's working smoothly.
Fingers on buzzers, and here's your first start for 10. What is the smallest country in Europe whose English name ends in land? Manchester Rollins?
Ireland. No. The plan to steal $4 million of Chinese gold in this film originates with a man who died in a Lamborghini Miura.
It's an job.
Yeah.
4 countries border both India and China. 1 is Burma, name 2 Rollins.
Bhutan and Nepal.
Is correct, yes, and the other one is Pakistan.
In this country, whose highest point is named for a former leader of the Cheka, is home to the Berezina River.
Ukraine?
No, make 5.
South Korea.
Bumblebee.
Coriolanus? That was very good. Oh, wow.
No conferring. No conferring.
I've absolutely no idea. We've just hit the 26-minute mark there, and at the end of the match.
Final score is Queen's 60, Magdalen 340.
And scores 240 to the opposition team, 145 to Manchester.
It was all right, wasn't it?
The opposition were pretty good. I think that's the toughest team we've played against yet.
Yeah, well, what was it?
They were on form.
So Manchester have lost out to the opposition and will want to take time to reassess their game. Magdalen have enjoyed an emphatic win, so their confidence remains intact.
I think we were probably a bit jumpier than we needed to be in that last game. There were certainly ones that we got wrong where I guess if we'd waited a bit longer, probably still could have got it right before the other team got in.
There were one or two where I just wasn't thinking at all and probably should have waited for a second before I buzzed.
It's always good to think.
The Odyssey in
before you
Ukraine being, I just need to practice buzzing full stop, I think.
Yeah, I think we're on the right track now. I think that's what I'd say.
It's going to be just us and Paxo. Reading the questions, Jeremy Paxman answering them. London College, Oxford.
I think Jeremy might be getting a bit worried at this point.
That's right. I love you, Jeremy.
Over the decades, students have looked to a variety of furry creatures and strange talisman to bring them luck on the show. And this year is no different.
These two beavers are our team mascots. They are the emblem of St. Anne's College. Many people think it's funny that a beaver is associated with the former women's college, but in fact in about 1913 it was adopted to represent the industriousness of the female students who would go out and take tutorials at other colleges and come back to the hostels where they all lived together. And I think they're quite cute.
And what have St. Andrews got to offer?
Well, we haven't made a decision on a mascot yet, but we have reached some consensus on a team costume of sorts, as modelled here by my lovely assistant Lewis.
This is our university undergraduate gown, and we're the only university in Europe to still have one, and so we really think this will set us apart.
Looks great. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
There's actually a system of wearing it. If you were a first year, you would wear it up here. We actually call this the academic striptease, as the gown lowers as you go through the years. So you have the first year, then second year it drops back onto the shoulders. Third year you're faced with a dilemma. If you're in arts, you wear it off the left. If you're in science, you wear it off the right. And then by your fourth and final year, you have it around your elbows like that. And you know, you've fully emerged, and that's the idea. I think it's very unique, and it makes St. Andrews kind of stand out.
Of course, there's more than one way to make your team stand out.
The Stegosaurus I kind of impulse bought in a junk shop. The shop assistant and I did have a moment of, why is this so overpriced? But now I've got it, I'm hoping it might make it on as the team mascot. I'm yet to persuade the others.
And the University of Sheffield team are also still to decide about their mascot.
Alfie the cat would make a wonderful mascot, but I think you would never get him to sit still for half an hour.
Why do you mean that little pink monkey that you sleep with?
That's true, no joking.
Yeah.
That's not even a joke.
I could go and get him. This is Sweetheart, my little monkey. He's probably my best friend. Sleep with him every night. I'm not sure how impressed people would be if he was chosen as our mascot for the TV.
It's the countdown to studio, and with just 2 days to go, there's a problem at the University of Manchester.
Yes, that's right. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye. We've heard today that Vary has unfortunately had to withdraw from the role of being reserve team member because of a family bereavement. And so what I've done is I've gone back to the people who just narrowly missed out on selection for the team when I did the original selection process, and I've chosen one of them to be the reserve team member. This is our new reserve. This is James.
And the lucky lad is third-year maths and physics student James Horton.
When I woke up this morning, I was thinking of my exam results and the Manchester United game. I wasn't thinking at all that I'd be part of this now, but it's a very pleasant surprise.
However late it is in the day, James discovers that every student who applies to be on University Challenge has to take a written test and be interviewed by the producers of the show. They also have to prove that they are eligible.
Yep, so that one's fine.
The producer said they were happy with my score in the test, and that would be acceptable to have as a reserve.
So, fingers on buzzers, and here's your first start for 10.
It's our last practice today. It's kind of good timing for James, really, because he just found out this afternoon, and he's been able to come in for the practice. So, you know, we get to know his kind of areas of knowledge and that kind of thing.
Just one question. What's my fee for doing this?
Get you a pint after. Don't say that. You have to buy a pint.
Finally, the day that all our teams have dreamt of has arrived. Their once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to appear on Britain's longest-running and most respected quiz show. University Challenge. After 6 months of planning, auditioning, swatting and quizzing, the teams make their way to Salford's Media City.
This is me, Rosie Thomas, the captain of the Fraser University Challenge team, and I'm just about to set off on the train journey up to Manchester to film University Challenge.
So we're at Lucan Station now, waiting for the train down to Manchester via Edinburgh to meet our destiny.
Just leaving Sheffield, the beautiful Peak District.
Here's team captain Jonathan Cullen.
Whoa.
Are you excited by the tram ride?
We've got 2 members of the team from last year, Turner and Ben, who have come to wish us luck as we head off to the train station. Yeah. So.
Good luck.
This isn't actually for me, they've just asked me to start filming you guys.
I remember it.
We're the team from Leicester. We're on our way up to Salford for University Challenge, and we're all feeling pretty good about it.
Yay!
So we're on the train, and we finally found Russ, and Gwen's just doing a last-minute bit of revision. And Russ has a couple of the starter questions from previous years, and Louisa's here as well.
Now I feel really conscious about how we feel about being on the show. So perhaps some questions should be asked, thrown out by the mysterious voice of Alex over there.
You guys having fun back there?
Never better.
How are you feeling, John?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to smash it.
You excited, Andrew?
I'm really nervous. I'm joking.
Also pretty nervous. Yeah.
Where are we, boys?
Salford. Just right. Looking forward to it.
So Matthew, what's the song called?
This song is Winner Takes It All by ABBA.
The winner takes it all.
While the Pembroke College Cambridge team use their journey to practice their singing, Trinity College Cambridge take the opportunity to do some last-minute cramming.
C. Day-Lewis, is he actually related to Daniel Day-Lewis?
Ooh, must be. We were about 2-3 hours away from filming the actual show itself, so sort of last-minute chance to learn a few things that we can be sure will definitely not come up because we revised them at the last minute.
Yeah. We found, doing past questions, that lots of weird questions about dartboards came up, about words you can make around a dartboard if you interpret the numbers as letters. So we've drawn a dartboard, and we're working out what words you can actually make. Is it 50 for ball and 25 for someone? So what's that?
I tell you, I've never played darts in my life.
The one thing that we've never really revised is the picture rounds.
Yeah.
And so I thought somebody should try to just brush up quickly on just being able to have a chance of recognising artists.
Definitely the main thing's going to be to enjoy this. You know, it's just great fun to be part of University Challenge, to get ourselves on TV with Jeremy asking us the questions and stuff.
Just for the limelight.
Yeah. I get these kind of dreams that I'll butt in when I think I get the right answer, and then it's wrong, and then I get chastised by Paxman. It's really embarrassing, and I just don't want that to happen for real.
And that's one dream that Aled doesn't want to come true, as, like most contestants before him, the thought of facing Jeremy Paxman sends a shiver down the spine.
If you buzz in, you've got to answer. Come on, let's have it, please.
We don't know.
You've hopped around every century except the right one. It's William III. This is going to be a long night.
We think University Challenge is a unique programme, so you do need a unique presenter. Jeremy, to me, fills the role perfectly, and I think for a lot of our students competing, the chance of coming up against him is something to be relished, not feared.
Someone buzz from Cardiff.
Cardiff Reese.
Prince Philip.
Prince Philip is right. I don't know why you equivocated so long. No one else comes to mind.
An Indochina War.
An Indochina War.
Indo-Chinese War.
That's not specific enough. There are lots of wars in Indochina. Quickly, come on. Yeah. Don't hang around.
No, I wouldn't say I was aware of my reputation. No, I mean, I don't, for good or bad. And frankly, I'd rather keep it that way.
I seem to remember him being quite grumpy at the time, definitely quite challenging.
Which band's single entitled The Reflex reached #1 in the British charts in 1984?
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
No, it was Duran Duran.
Oh, no.
Serves you right.
To be berated by Paxman on screen is really a badge of honour, something to be proud of and a memory to be cherished.
One player who wasn't afraid to interrupt the mighty Paxo at work and risk a 5-point penalty was Ralph Morley, captain of reigning champions Trinity College, Cambridge.
You know, Paxman was midway through a sentence. The three of us had no idea what Paxman was going to say next, and Ralph just buzzed him.
During the 20th century, who held the position of Prime Minister of the United Kingdom for the...
Trinity Morley.
Margaret Thatcher.
How did you know I was going to ask for the longest period of time?
Well, what else is it going to be?
When the college watched that moment, they just, you know, uproarious laughter, you know, because someone had stood up to Paxman. It felt fantastic, yeah.
OK, let's see if you get these bonuses right. They're on French land borders, you smart-asses.
Yeah, I like a bit of spirit. I like students, you know. I love their enthusiasm. The best of them, well, they don't take it too seriously, but want to do well. I like them.
What is the most populous French département?
Lille?
No, it's Nord. Not all so easy, are they?
The students finally descend upon Salford's Media City, and as one journey ends, another begins.
I think University Challenge being done in the studios will be a bit intimidating under the lights with Paxman there. This is going to be on television, okay?
See you on the other side.
I think I'm more worried than most at the moment. I might be overthinking it a bit now.
It is a terrifying prospect, the entire thing. Hopefully I'll be able to keep my nerves in check and everything will go fine.
I've quizzed with these guys many times before, and I know that they're very good, but it's good not to take anything for granted because the competition will be very strong.
Well, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
If you want to follow me, we're going to go to hospitality.
Sounds good. I like it.
While the teams settle into their dressing rooms, another University Challenge legend is making his final preparations. Roger Tilling has been an integral part of the show since 1997.
Well, my seat's up over in the corner up there. It's a specially designed piece of scaffolding, and I think it's got to be the best seat in the house. You can see everything going on in the studio. Trinity Tornoshek Zorko. I don't think people realise that the voiceovers are actually done live in the studio. I think they probably reckon it's edited in afterwards. So for this game we have Maudlin Binney, Maudlin Quinn, Maudlin Savory, Maudlin Gillow. Luckily, one team has a bell, one team has a buzzer, which kind of helps me kind of home into the right team. I think it's strategic to have a long or difficult to pronounce surname on your team, because when you think about it, it gives them at least an extra second to come up with the answer. So if I was setting up a team, I would have Daranojek Zorko, Papa Philippopoulos, Wunukula Surya and Bhattacharya all on the same team. I think you'd win.
And although victory is on everyone's minds, there's another trophy that all teams are desperate to acquire, and they don't have to win to take it home.
These are the all-important nameplates that will be in front of the students on their desk. I actually think these are more valuable to the students than the trophy.
Wow.
Isn't it cool?
So cool.
And you get to keep it afterwards.
Do you really?
Is it right? Yeah.
We send them out, usually.
That's amazing.
Gimme! Oh my god.
That's great. Yeah.
That's
wonderful. Thank you very much.
We get to keep them, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Before the teams go on, obviously we've got to check that everyone's spelt right. The last thing you want is for some poor student to go on their only television appearance and we've spelt their name horribly wrong.
My surname's spelt a bit weirdly and pronounced even weirder, and I'm very, very precious about it. So if I'm on national TV, I want it to be right.
Is that right?
It feels like a sacred object. Like the relics of a saint.
I think this is probably the proudest I've ever been. This is the biggest achievement of my life. Yeah, but
Raise nose, no dear.
Can I put it on my back like a footballer? That's big.
Can I check that we spelled your name correctly?
Yes, that is my name, right, guys? That is right. Yes.
Wow. Greatest day of my life.
Love it if you could make me look like Gail Trimble. Seeing the nameplate makes me realise that it's actually happening. We're finally here, and we're doing the filming, yeah, in a matter of hours. Thanks.
If we get
As reality hits home for the students, their big moment draws ever closer as they find out who they will face in the first round of matches.
Now, for the grand reveal, you'll be playing against Selwyn, Cambridge.
That's where I got turned away from.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a good brunch match.
Yeah.
We've been drawn against Manchester, which is a pretty tough draw.
The last time Selwyn were on, they got a grand total of 75. And as far as we remember, that was also against Manchester. So we're hoping that history's not going to repeat itself.
I'm slightly nervous now that we know who we're playing, to be honest.
I believe they're the academically best college.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be okay.
Well, we're found out we're playing Trinity Cambridge, who are obviously one of the big hitters, but you've got to beat the big teams to win the competition.
We're playing Pembroke Cambridge in our first round match. We've never met them before, don't know how good they are at quizzing, so sort of it's very much an unknown quantity.
Well, we noticed that the opposition was carrying around a very large bear, obviously intended to intimidate us, but it hasn't worked.
This is Paddy, our mascot. He's also known as the Bok Bear, and we're hoping that he brings us some good luck today. We think the opposition have heard about him. The opposition are going to be scared.
This is our mascot. It's a bell. And it's here because we plan to ring the changes.
This is our mascot, Michael. He's stood by us through thick and thin. He's acted as a light in the darkness. He's been our driving force.
For Trinity College Cambridge, there's a big decision to make.
So we're trying to decide what mascot to have. We've got the Stegosaurus with us, but for one thing, it's very big, and for another, it doesn't have any particular relevance for most of the people on the team. It's just something that Claire had knocking around. And, you know, it's a lovely model of a Stegosaurus. I don't deny that, but I'm not sure if it's quite the right thing. It's a bit, I think size is the major factor. Comparing what the other teams have got with them, sort of tiny little mice, and one of them has got like a hotel buzzer. So perhaps just the scarf, I think.
There's strong opposition from Matthew, so I think it might have been vetoed. But that's okay, it can watch from the sidelines.
Well, we've brought our lucky mascots along, and I think they're excited to be here. What do you think?
Pretty sure, yeah.
It's hard to tell, though. They're just stuffed.
Slightly reluctantly, we've got my cuddly toy monkey sweetheart, who...
Say his name again.
Sweetheart. He's going to bring us a lot of love and a lot of luck.
Beaver fight, ready?
As the final preparations are made in studio, the nerves are building backstage.
I think we're all reasonably terrified.
I'm trying to distract myself from how nervous I am by getting overexcited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited, but getting a bit nervous now because it's getting close as well.
You know, this is the first of many such walks to the University Challenge studio.
Yeah. These guys have just attempted to knock and run on Jeremy Paxman's door. Thankfully, I don't think he was in there.
We'll just be sitting there with a wry smile on our face, knowing that, hey, no one knows what's going on beneath this desk, but we know. That sounded wrong.
Win or lose, the honour belongs to the man in the arena, not to those cold, timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. We're going to crush them.
The teams start to make their way to studio, and they're not the only ones feeling the tension. Stephen Pearson has been putting together the University of Manchester team for 16 years and has attended almost every single recording.
Stephen's in the audience watching. We don't want to let him down, obviously, but, you know, he knows we're just going to go in and play the best game we can.
I'm quite nervous, really. You never quite know how good the opposition are going to be, but I'm hoping they'll be nice and relaxed and they're just going to enjoy it, whatever the result.
As the teams wait to go into studio, they get some last-minute good luck messages as the audience take their seats.
My dad and my sister are here.
Nice on the prize. Nice on the prize. Good luck to those of you who are going to be on the studio floor in particular.
Cheers.
Good luck, team! We'll be cheering you on. Team photo! Go out, yeah! Woo!
Hang on, do you need your shoes?
You're not the only guys who can lunge.
Oh, lovely knees!
I once did Newsnight in shorts, but as you're under the desk, it doesn't matter, you know.
Well,
that's
that's what we were thinking. That's short recognition from Mr. Paxman. Bad.
Okay, we're ready for you now, guys, if you want to follow me.
And so it begins.
Indeed.
Welcome on the team from the Open University.
The moment has arrived. Time to follow in the footsteps of some of the brightest brains in Britain and walk onto the hallowed set for the first time.
Selwyn, Cambridge. Manchester. St Anne's, Oxford. Trinity, Cambridge. Brasenose, Oxford.
As the teams take their seats, it's a moment to treasure for the students and for their mascots.
This is a big moment. It's worth it for show.
There we go.
Got to say, you're being outdone on the mascot.
It doesn't sound the same when he's talking.
He just seems like a normal guy.
Node?
It's Nodea.
Node.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Perfect.
I'm feeling quite calm now I'm in here and kind of see.
It's kind of just odd to look around and go, you know, this is what you see inside a little box in your room, but here we are.
I realised there's a gyroscope in the middle. It's really weird that you can see yourself as well.
Yeah, it is.
Some students are awestruck at the sight of the main man.
Oh my God, there he is. There he is.
You don't mind sitting up and trying to look intelligent? Why do you wear them off the shoulder?
Depends on the year.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys need to know before we start?
Got any answers?
Do you know I have? But I'm not going to give them to you now.
So I realise you've done this about 600 times. But...
No, it's not that. It's a pleasure to see you. But,
Good stuff.
It happened for real. I met Jeremy Paxman. I've made it. Shook his hand. He's a real man. Not gonna wash.
I hadn't realised from watching Uni Challenge just how low and smoky Paxo's voice is. I was very impressed. It was so low and hot chocolatey.
While some swoon over Jeremy, other students are eager to test their buzzers.
Well done.
Good.
Don't try your buzzers.
Sorry.
Eric, one of the buzzers not working.
I just tested my buzzer and got told off for it, so I'm now going to be reticent to use it until I'm told.
Many take the studio appearance in their stride, but for a few of the students, the pressure can prove too much. And when you've got to go, you've got to go. Over the past 6 months, more than 130 teams have competed for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to join the exclusive club of quizzers who have appeared on the British institution that is University Challenge.
I'm feeling quite nervous at this stage. Hopefully, it'll go well.
My teeth are feeling a bit numbed out.
It's nice to be finally in the studio, in the hot seat.
Here we are recording, stand by.
My heart's racing.
Empty to titles in 5.
I'm pretty nervous, to be honest.
5 seconds.
It's all about that.
And now, just 28 teams remain and await their turn to hear Jeremy Paxman deliver that immortal phrase.
Well, you know the rules, the whole world knows the rules, so fingers on the buzzers, here's your first starter for 10.